Who was your favorite just moments with teammates? Like who's a teammate that you really enjoyed playing with, and who's maybe an under the radar guy that maybe you really just had a lot of fun with? Either team, either the Ravens or the Falcons. We actually interviewed some of your teammates last year too. Trevor Price, with the Ravens, we interviewed him last year, and also Von Hutchins and Antoine Harris, who you play with in Atlanta as well. We actually
you got Antoine Harris?
We got him last year. Yeah, he was hilarious.
Oh, that's a low-key, really solid dude. He's a special teams assassin, man.
Yeah, so who are some of those guys? Like, who are some of your favorite guys that you were played with on either one of those teams?
I'll tell you that I laughed more than I ever did in my life within the Falcons running back meeting rooms with Michael Turner and Jarius Norwood and our running back coach. Like, it was just pure comedy every single day. Like, it was something that I look back fondly on because I don't know how we got any work done. Like, we were always like, we were so childish. We'd write stuff on the wall. We'd draw pictures of our coach, and we sneak in some stupid like some comedy film and show stuff. We just never took anything seriously. Yet we were like top 2 or 3 rushing attack in the league for 2008, 9, 10. But we had so many inside jokes. But when it came to game time, we were all business. We had the mentality that, if someone's gonna F up this game, it ain't gonna be the running back room. We're not fumbling. We're not gonna create turnovers. We're gonna do our part to make Matt Ryan's job easy. And back then, Matt Ryan was young, so we said, let's not put the game in his hands. Let's take over, and we would do that. But as far as undercover guys, I'd say. Let me see. Back in Baltimore, Edwin Mulatalo. Mulatalo was the left guard for the Ravens, and he was just one of the coolest. Like he reminded me of like a fat version of The Rock. Like he was just like a cool, funny, charismatic, keep the whole O-line together. But what I loved is that he had so much dog in him during the games, like just as a Samoan warrior, and he had he could do the hockey dance, whatever, and he would. It was really cool just being his friend because as big time as he was, and as much money as he got, he was a down to earth guy. Would sit with everyone, helped me out my rookie year and second year. I didn't play much fullback. Jamal told me, Jamal Lewis, don't F it up. And Edwin Mulatalo has the more the positive side. He's like, hey, man, you got this. I've seen you in practice, man. You a beast. Go out there and just handle your business. I think I had like 2 fumbles my 4 years in Baltimore. Wow. And the first one was devastating because it was during a big game, and I think we lost that game too. And my fumble wasn't the reason we lost, but everyone's pointing to me because I only get a couple of plays as a fullback. How dare I make one of those plays a fumble? And Edwin, I was broken. I was about to go walk off a mountain because I felt like I really let the team down. And Edwin, I remember putting his big, heavy paw on my shoulder. And it was like, hey, man, it's never as bad as you think it is, never as good as you think it is. Man, yeah, you did F up today, but, it's going to be – you can erase that by having a better game next week. So just those little positive moments that no one hears, and, it took nothing for him to come over there and speak to me, but it meant a lot to me. That's why I think he's a really solid dude.
Now, obviously, you brought up the comic book. I'm only going to bring this up because, obviously, Kobe Bryant is one of my guys. I love Kobe Bryant to pieces, and he's one of the rare athletes that immediately found success out of his sport. Would you rather have a coaching job in the NFL, or would you rather win some sort of, I don't know, like an Emmy or an Oscar for the comic books? What would your next 5-year plan be?
Oh, definitely the comic books. Coaching is for the birds. Like, God bless you coaches. God bless for a player who wants to be a coach. Not for me. I don't go third person a lot, but Ovie don't do coaching full time. I'll help out and I'll assist. Like I had Jarius Norwood and Michael Jenkins, some of my old teammates, do high school coaching in the area. I go talk to their kids and talk to their running backs and show them some skills back, technique stuff, hands to the side and duck walk. But to have a whole season where you're prepping and game planning and talking to these kids and watching them go the wrong way, and God forbid you actually want to make a career of this and you do everything right, but your coaches mess up on the other side, or players don't do what they're supposed to do, and you fire me because of what they did on the field when I did my job? Oh, hell no. Like, I don't know how some of these coaches don't strangle their kids when they have perfect plays and the kids are fumbling, which is not the coach's fault. You know, they're throwing an interception, not the coach's fault. Like, you're not firing me, making me move my whole family because y'all messed up. Oh, no. I'm not putting myself in a position to have that happen to me. I've been cut once, twice in the football world. You ain't going to cut me or fire me for some stuff that I have no control over. Nah, coaching, nah.
Not for Ovie in the third person. Nothing.
Ovie don't do coaching.
Ovie don't play that, okay?
Yes, correct.
We are talking to former Ravens and Falcons All-Pro fullback Ovie Mughelli, Ovie Mughelli Foundation, a nonprofit organization empowering youth communities and promoting environmental change. It's a great foundation that Ovie has put his time and his love into it after football. Ovie, one of the questions for one of our fans, he says, John Sugg says, when you told your dad you were going to Wake Forest, did you mention Duke since he wanted you to go to school to be a doctor?
My dad wanted me to go wherever I got free education. And Duke said no, and I applied. I wanted to go to Duke. I really wanted to go to Duke. Duke said no. NC State said no. Shit, everyone said no. I got one Division I scholarship, and that was from Wake Forest because somebody dropped out. And I went as a tailback, which I quickly realized after having Terrence Williams and Chris Barclay and Morgan Kane and these guys who were real shifty tailbacks. I was everything. I went to a small private school in Charleston. Shout out to Porter High School, but I was like the only black guy on both sides of the football sometimes. So I had these little guys. I'm stiff arming this guy, stiff arming that guy. I had 2,000-3,000 yards. I had 300-yard games, and it wasn't hard, But not my fault. I just played against who they put me up against, and I had a bazillion yards, but that didn't impress any college scouts. So I got one offer, took it, and I made, just like the NFL, I made every college who passed on me pay because I was the number one fullback going to the draft by USA Today in my senior year, and I was trying to murder these linebackers at Florida State and Clemson especially because they talked so much trash. I'm like, yeah, you're winning, but I'm going to F you up. That's still going to happen. There's nothing that you can do. Congratulations on the scoreboard. You still got to see me every single gosh darn play, and it's going to be ugly for you. So I took pride in that, just making these boys cry. That's talking to.
We got a Florida State football fan on this show.
No, well, you won the game, but your linebackers were backing up every time I came at them. And not me just blowing myself up. That's what they were doing.
That was when they were actually good. Hear me. That was actually when they were good.
Yes, they were good back in the day.
Now they stink. Before we let you go, Ovie, I have a couple questions for you. When you look at the game and how the game has changed from when you played and now how it's become an offensive game in the NFL, are you surprised of the greatness of Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, the quarterbacks that have really taken over the league and really stamped their name to the Hall of Fame? Obviously, Peyton Manning going to the Hall of Fame this year. Are you surprised at the greatness of the quarterback play now than it was in those days? And do you think, my question to you being that you played in the beginning of all of the change of the offense, are you surprised that when you look at the offense ability of some of these quarterbacks in the game, how it's completely changed? Are you surprised that in those times where the game was more open for defensive players, are you surprised that the quarterbacks weren't as prolific as they are now?
No, they've tailor-made the game, the NFL has, to put butts in seats and to put eyes on that TV and to hit those numbers they've hit because, defense wins championships, but offense sells tickets. And always has been. You want those high-score games. No one's going to be excited about a 6-3, romper that's not, really getting people all jazzed up. You want to see those touchdowns. You want to see the celebrations. You want to see the big explosive plays. And that's why they protect their moneymakers, these quarterbacks. That's why they're making $100, $300, $500 million contracts. You're Patrick Mahomes because that's what people want to see, and it's an offensive league where I mentioned earlier these defensive players. I feel bad for them. They expect them to have matrix-like reflexes when they're trying to tackle people, and if Jim Kelly and Steve Young and Troy Aikman and Joe Montana had the rules that Matt Ryan and Tom Brady has, their numbers would be way up. So I'm not too surprised because this is what they want, and they're getting what they wanted because there's some crazy team that think fullback's not even necessary anymore. So God bless them. Keep on putting butts in seats. It is exciting to watch as an offensive player, but I think that they're kind of skewing the game a bit.
Now, Ovie, before we let you go, why don't you tell the fans how they can find your foundation, how they can find you on social media, how they can invest time and money into helping you grow your foundation?
Yeah, I appreciate that. No, my Twitter handle is at Ovie Mughelli 34, first name, last name 34, OVIEMUGHELLI 34, and of course, as the universe would have it, our website is down, omfgreen.org, but we'll get that back up. But if anyone wants to potentially get some comic books, support the foundation, learn more, you can hit us up on the foundation email, OMF for Ovie Mughelli Foundation, green@me.com. So that's omfgreen@me.com. Email us, and we'd be happy to help your school out, send some comics over, or work with you to put on one of our green tailgates.
And I want you to send my producer, Speedy, your logo and your website information. We'll have it connected to your logo so people can actually go in and out of our website into your website and donate the time and the money to help grow your foundation.
I appreciate that. We'll do, buddy.
Absolutely. And let's stay in touch. I'd love to get you on the show again. You were a great interview. You had some great insight, and some of the things that you said was absolutely must see, must listen to. You're awesome. Thank you, Ovie.
Thank you, sir. Y'all be good, man. Thank you.